Hello again, welcome to a new video. Last time I talked about the positives of Georgia, and you can see that video here. This time I'm going to talk about the negatives. So as with any country, there are going to be negatives, but fortunately with Georgia, the negatives are small, okay? The positives by far outweigh the negatives. So here I'm going to start with one which my wife knows very well, and that is stray dogs. There are lots of stray dogs on the streets in all the cities, in all the small towns, all over Georgia. I'm not talking one or two, I'm talking about packs of dogs. So you need to be very, very careful when you are walking around because unfortunately, my wife was bitten by a dog. We went to a town called Signagi and we were chased by these dogs and my wife was bitten. Yeah, you can see that video here if you want to have a look at my wife being chased by dogs. Unfortunately, we didn't know if this dog was tagged, and so she needed to have a tetanus shot and 5 rabies or 6 rabies, I can't remember what it was, rabies shots over the course of like 2 months. So she wasn't happy. Obviously, she's now scared to death of dogs, and so it's not a good thing. And of course, where dogs are, dogs like to leave presents. And you really need to watch where you're walking on the streets in Georgia, certainly in Tbilisi, bigger cities like Batumi, Tbilisi, because there are little doggy presents on the pavements all over the place. So if you go out at night, look at where you're walking because you don't want to step in one. So this is a problem, yeah? And I really hope the government can do something about the dogs. Some of them are tagged, but not all of them, which is why we had to go and see a doctor and get the shots. So I really hope the government can do something about this because this is a negative. It's not a good look to have all these dogs everywhere. I know other countries also have these problems. It's not just Georgia, but yeah, if they could do something about it, then that would be a very good thing, I think. I also want to get to something which my wife and I really didn't like, and that was the driving. So Georgians, we love you, but you can't drive, unfortunately. And we were scared every time we crossed the road because the drivers don't stop on the crossings. So you take your life in your hand when you cross the road, and every time we got into a taxi, we were wondering whether we were going to get out alive. So yeah, this is a kind of a problem, and it was uncomfortable, yeah, with the driving situation. There's also no lane discipline. I've written here, no lane discipline. So here's the lane. You could go down the lane. Oh no, let's go here. Oh no, we'll go down here. Then we'll go around here, and then back around here, wherever there's a gap. So if you're a car, you get car sick like me, then it's not a good thing to go all over the place. So yeah, I don't know what can happen. As I say, Georgians are really nice people, but the driving is not great, and so maybe the government need to clamp down on this. I don't know what they can do really, but it was quite unpleasant for us. They also like to beep their horns when you cross the road, or when, yeah, they just like their horns. The next thing I'm going to talk about is customer service. So coming from Britain, it's a different thing. Yeah, everyone in Britain says, "Oh, good morning. How are you? Lovely to see you today. Oh, good morning. Welcome to the supermarket. What are your plans for the rest of the day?" In Georgia, it's not like that. Okay, it's a very stern face, and so if you're in a supermarket, you might think people are rude. It's just the mentality. It's not them necessarily. It's just the way they are. It's the same in some other countries as well. But for a Westerner, it can be a bit off-putting. So the customer service in supermarkets could be better. In restaurants, the Georgian government, basically, it's law that restaurants have to charge a 10% tip, regardless. Yeah, it's not your choice, it's charged anyway. And then, yeah, this is good because you don't have to work out how much to pay if you want to give a tip. But the drawback of this is that waiters know they will get their tip, and so they don't make the extra effort. Yeah, not all places, but a lot of places we felt that way. And I'm going to say another thing about the Radio Cafe here was not like that at all. The Radio Cafe was fantastic, amazing service. So if you want to go there, that's a good place. So yeah, the waiter's knowledge of English in Tbilisi, it was better. In Batumi, not so good. And this could cause problems maybe if you order one thing, they don't quite understand you, and then maybe they bring you something that you didn't really order. So that can also cause problems. So maybe more training there, and especially if Georgia wants to attract more Western tourists, people expect people to speak English. It's kind of arrogant, I know, but it's just kind of the way it is. There's not much awareness of allergies also in Georgia. So I'm both gluten intolerant, lactose intolerant, fructose intolerant, egg intolerant. I'm very intolerant of everything. And I just spat there, sorry. So I have lots of allergies, and there's not much awareness of it in Georgia. Cross-contamination can also be a problem. So I remember we ordered something, and I can't remember what it was, maybe chicken, and they brought it, and it was wrapped in bread. It had breadcrumbs or something on it, and they were like, "Oh, it's gluten-free," but it's got bread on it. So they don't understand, I suppose, because it's not a thing, maybe. So maybe more awareness of that would be good. But obviously that only affects me and other intolerant people. And one other thing I wanted to mention here is about the availability of products. So in my other video, I talked about Euro product. They have a lot of kind of imported food products, but I'm talking more about electronics. So there isn't a huge amount of things in the electronics shop. So if you want something for your computer, or you want something, just some gadgets, then what I ended up doing was using Amazon in the UK and having it sent over. So then my money's going in the pockets of Amazon, not in the Georgian coffers. Yeah. So obviously it's importation problems. They just haven't got these things kind of worked out. But in order to get those things into the country, we used, I used this thing called Kiwi Post. And Kiwi Post, basically you get like an address in London, you send your thing from Amazon to this address, they ship it to Georgia, then you pick it up. And there's another one called USA to Georgia as well. So I use these services because I couldn't find the product I wanted in Georgia. So maybe if those products were available, I would have put money into the Georgian taxation, whatever, into the economy. That's the word I was looking for. So maybe they can work out more kind of importation, get more products in, more Western products as well. That would be a good thing. As I said, Georgia was a mostly positive experience. There are a few negatives I've mentioned here, but really out of all I've mentioned here, I think stray dogs and driving is probably the biggest things that annoyed us. The others, okay, it's not the end of the world. So that's the end of this video. I hope it was useful for you. I think it's important to know the negatives of something as well as the positives. If it was useful for you, then please subscribe to my channel, give it a like, and write a comment below, and I will try and answer your questions. Thanks for watching. See you soon.